what the Lord has done. My eyes have seen, my ears have heard. I have seen what the Lord has done. The baby I've been waiting for, He has brought it to pass. Hey, see my eyes, see my Samuel. Hey, see what the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done. It's a marvelous thing. It's a glorious thing. What I've been waiting for. Hey, He has brought it to pass. I am a Taylor. Hey, see what the Lord.
Mr. Olukayode Ogunnubi was born on Lagos Island on the 15th of February 1963. He attended CMS Grammar School Bariga for his secondary education, which completed in 1981. The following year, he gained admission into the University of Nigeria and from where he obtained his first degree in investment management in 1985, emerging as the overall best
Words fail me to pay a deserving tribute to perhaps the greatest brother that ever trod the face of planet Earth. A fine, intelligent, exemplary, extremely humble, and quintessential gentleman were the quotable words of a brother in describing the character, the personality, the nobility, and the uniqueness, gentlemanliness, and exemplary leadership traits of Olukayode Timothy Olukayode Ogunnubi.
See what the Lord has done.
Born to poor Isaac Ayorinde Ogunnubi clan in Ije, Obalende area of Lagos, now known as Dolphin Estate area of Lagos State in the 60s, Olukayode Timothy Olukayode Ogunnubi was said to have a most precocious growth and equally excelled in academics, life skill, and character, said to be anchored on those valued principles, ideals, morality, resilience, good heritage, stability, forthrightness, and the uprightness that represents the BBUism and Omoluabism for which the Ogunnubi clan were known for.
A gentleman, though they call, very amiable, easygoing, team player, and I wish him all the best. He's himself, and you can see he's a fine boy, a ladies' man. Can't you see that? It's a ladies' man. So, good to be share with you. The Lord will continue to strengthen you.
A model and a mentor worthy of emulation, Kayode, as fondly called, is said to epitomize his grace and character. Humble to a fault, simplistic yet elegant, extremely neat and equally fashionable.
See what the Lord has done. My eyes have seen, my ears have heard. I have seen what the Lord has done. The baby I've been waiting for, He has brought it to pass. Hey, see my eyes, see my Samuel. Hey, see what the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done. It's a marvelous thing. It's a glorious thing. What I've been waiting for. Hey, He has brought it to pass. I am
a good worker, loyal and honest in his duties. The best and noted is that anyone who has given service and integrity in the public service deserves being properly kept. That's my own impression. He's done very well, and I call him a brother.
Brilliant and reserved, an extraordinary entrepreneur, a prolific land administrator, a successful estate valuer, and a gracious family man who represents dignity, integrity, honesty, easygoing, flexible, and intelligent.
He's been someone who has been a pillar of support to me, and I always remind him. He once prophesied into my life about 3-4 years ago. We went on an assignment somewhere outside of the country, and we were just chatting, and he looked at me and said, "You are going to become a PS." And that time, PS was far from my mind. I was just busy doing my work. He said, "Don't worry, mark this day, and I'll remind you." And fortunately, the day that we were being sworn in as PSs, he was at the venue at the Lagos House here. And I looked at him and I said, "You did say so." He is a prophet. He might not know how deep it is, but he is a prophet of salt. And he's also an astute administrator, because I take nuggets from him now and again. So I want to say, my brother, thank you very much.
A proud product of the CMS Grammar School, Bariga, Lagos, the prestigious Yaba College of Technology, the University of Nigeria, Nsukka in Ogun State, and the University of Lagos, respectively. Kayode, in every available records of reckoning, stood out among his peers as one of the best graduating students known in his days in school.
See what the Lord has done.
A strict disciplinarian and yet humane, a master of good values and virtues of life, a carer and a loving man with a kind heart, Kayode is described by many as one who is gifted and blessed with good counsel, a problem solver with visionary thinking and guidance, all attest to his unparalleled professionalism and reputation of dignity.
See what the Lord has done.
When I'm talking about my success, the storyline cannot be complete without him, because the word patience I had from him, from the word go, I'm still enjoying it today, because in the patience lies a lot of things.
With a sound and a well-established family and academic background, and a dignified reputation of credibility and integrity intact, Olukayode Timothy Olukayode Ogunnubi, with resounding competence and capacity of reckoning, joined the Lagos State Civil Service in 1992 at the Department of Lands to start a public service career as a land officer in the public service of the Lagos State Lands and Housing in 1992.
See what the Lord has
One that is always willing to teach people. I'll call him a teacher. He taught us so many things as land officers, young officers in service then. And, he's someone that is always willing to give whatever thing that it takes to ensure that you become a versatile officer. And then the belief he has in someone like me, when he was transferred out of lands in those days, if I can remember, he made a recommendation about me, saying that the assignment he was handling for the state then, that I'm capable of handling it. Despite the fact that I was still a young officer, to so many people then, it was as if I could not do the job being a young land officer. But he made it known to all that if the assignment is given to me, I'll perform. And to the glory of God, I was able to handle that assignment for 5 years before being transferred out of Lands Bureau. Be that as it may, there are so many other things that we've done together as land officers and estate surveyors and valuers. And he's always there, willing to give advices on how to move things forward. And I wouldn't say he's doing that just to me as a person. He does that to so many other officers as well. We see him as one of the good officers that we have in service.
I have known Mr. Ogunnubi since I joined the service. He used to be the director of evaluation when I came into the system, and fortunately I had worked with him ever since then. I never knew our path was going to cross again when he became my PS. But since those days, I used to work with him like a consultant, so he asked me questions on anything that has to do with IT, and we were actually very close. He's a good boss, and is equally a very good and very friendly person. Nice to work with. I had worked with so many people within this system, but his coming to Science and Tech was very circumstantial. We didn't know he was coming, and when he came, I was one of those few people he looked for because of the virtue of the fact that we had actually worked together. So when he came to Science and Tech, he was one of those people who will ask you questions and want to learn from everything that actually is in the IT field. A very fast learner and a good boss. That's the way I'm going to describe it. Before Mr. Ogunnubi came to join Ministry of Science and Technology as the permanent secretary, service-wide, we used to have these paper-printed pay slips. And it was a big issue service-wide, because for you to get your pay slips, it's going to take possibly a month between when the pay slip is actually printed from the central payroll department to when he gets to the destination. Most of the time, he doesn't even get to the destination. So we had a management meeting one day, and we told him that, sir, do you know we could actually turn this payslip into an electronic version? And because of the kind of person he is, liking innovation, he said, wow, Wasu, please see me after this management meeting. So I went to his office and I explained to him how that was going to work. He gave us 100% support to achieve that. I can tell you today, that idea, that innovation saved the state millions of naira. If you look at what it takes to print papers for every civil servant in the state every month, the cost of toners, the cost of maintaining printers, because those printers were actually high-ended printers. Okay? Even the STO as a ministry actually jumped at that idea because it was a very good and very innovative idea. If you look at a problem with the civil servant, it means that we were able to achieve two things. One, it became very essential that every civil servant will now know and begin to use their official email. And two, it means that your payslip can be gotten anytime you want it. You know, for any audit exercise, most of the time, when you want to retire, a lot of time, you need your payslips. So the era of you going to search, going to bribe people to get your payslip was actually gone. It was his idea, because we had a lot of problems. And the cost of actually achieving that, you know, some people will push back, okay, to say, no, it can't be done, even from within. But Mr. Ogunnubi stood with us to ensure that we achieved that within his period. And that was one of those things that he did very well to assist the service as an act of innovation. You know that with him, I have seen a boss who doesn't claim to know all. He's always ready to listen to everybody. He's always ready to learn from everybody, no matter how low you are to him as when you look at grade level. Again, I also saw the ability to stand, okay, with what you believe in as the truth. Because in this very exercise, it was a very tough one, and a lot of other people were actually pulling back to say that, I won't be the one that will say, no, I'm not going to stand with this. People were actually pulling back, but they said, we're saving the state money. This is also going to make life easy for civil servants. Then I will stand with you anywhere. And he did that. So when you talk about integrity, it is something that everybody needs to learn and holds by, especially in a country like Nigeria, where integrity is fast becoming seriously eroded. My first prayer is that God continues to keep him in very good, sound mind, good body, and I pray that God continue to elongate his life. I pray that God bless everything that he touches when he leaves the system. And I know that because of the kind of person he is, he prays a lot too, whatever that is around him, whatever that he owns, God will protect and bless them upon that.
Fully armed with the virtues of his humble, noble, and honorable family background, we stand in good stead and a strong, solid academic foundation with a first degree in estate management, where he emerged as the overall best graduate student in his faculty, and a distinguished master's degree in business management to his credit, and a registered estate surveyor and valuer as a cutting edge. Olukayode Timothy Olukayode Ogunnubi left no one in doubt of his readiness, competence, capability, resolution, determination, and the forthrightness to conquer the world ahead of him.
See what the Lord has done.
Happy birthday, my dear brother, Kayode Ogunnubi, and of course, happy retirement. We're so happy for you and so proud of you. I would say that describing or saying something about Kayode, I tell you, show me a man of integrity, a man that is very resourceful, a man of candor,
A man that has conscience, that is Kayode Ogunnubi. Show me a man that is diligent in his works, a man that does not joke with public service, a man that is responsible and dutiful, that is Kayode Ogunnubi. Show me a man that doesn't joke with the home front, good-looking man, responsible, caring husband, and very, very responsible, dutiful father. That is Kayode Ogunnubi. So on behalf of my husband, Pastor Motusho, and myself, we wish you a very, very beautiful birthday. I wish your darling wife, my darling Aburo, a beautiful celebration. She's been there through thick and thin, and we pray that God Almighty will continue to be with you and your beautiful family. God Almighty will continue to expand your coast, and you will continue to impact your generation, my dear Kayode. This is your auntie wishing you all the best that you wish yourself. In Jesus' mighty name, I have prayed. God bless you. Happy birthday.
With a wealth of experience and a reckoning profile from a private sector-driven economy and background, Olukayode Timothy Olukayode Ogunnubi, after leaving Tolerant Group as the project coordinator of Astra Builder at Marina, Lagos, to becoming a state land officer in Lands and Housing in 1992.
He is the first person to become the permanent secretary among the lands officers working in Lagos State. And as we all know, he's an honest man and is very good. He is the kind of person that wants the young one to grow. And no matter how, also is a spiritual. I'm here because he's one of our patrons. He's one of the people that back our Association of Telephone, Cable TV, and Telecom of Nigeria that's called ATPIS, the NGO that fought for the telecoms sector in Nigeria. Anything that you see myself and my team that are doing is one of the people that even they are behind us with the HOS. Among the 22 billion people in Lagos State, himself and the HOS are our backbone of the ATPIS.
Provided as a reformist a solution for the ministry when it was confronted with mass encroachment of state-owned lands by initiating the private estate scheme project in Lagos State, which led to the Lagos State government to allocate an excised land to private developers for urban development. His idea of the allocation of state-owned land to private developers for urban development then became the vehicle for the physical development of the private estate developer scheme, resulting in the springing up of the execution of gigantic low-cost housing program of the Lagos State government delivery of houses to the citizens, the establishment of new towns, the provision of the site and service schemes for estates such as Lekki Peninsula, Dolphin Estate, and other area of Lagos State.
See what the Lord has done.
Following the state government policy to ensure the provision of lands to private individuals, organizations and bodies who have the capability and the expertise to build affordable houses in the state, his stream of ideas again were commendably recognized, earning him the enviable position of the secretaryship of the Excision Committee of Lagos State in 1998.
See what the Lord has done.
As a vibrant grade level 12 officer in the Lands and Housing Ministry in 1999, he was redeployed to the Valuation Office as director to take over from a retiring grade level 17 director, Mr. Allen, the then pioneer director of Valuation Office, at the instance of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
See what the Lord has done. Do
our path first crossed in 1999, and by 2000, when he came to head the valuation office, taking over as a level 12 officer from late Mr. Allen, who was then a director. Mr. Ogunnubi brought on to the Lagos State Valuation Office something unique, something different. Despite all the challenges, he was able to steer the ship of the valuation office. And he was not only able to steer the ship, he was able to command the human resources available to him. One of the things that always amazed me with the man, I'll call him the man, Mr. Olukayode Ogunnubi, is that most often when you think you have a problem and you're looking at how do I solve this problem? One thing Mr. Ogunnubi will come up with, and okay, you want to be at the top and you don't want to be the topic. There's no way you stay at the top if you don't want to be the topic. And then the thing is that every nerve is calm. He is a solution provider. He's someone that you can go to and it provides you the leeway. Most often without making you to know. I succeeded him as director of valuation after having spent 12 years from level 12, remember. And it was at critical times in the life of the valuation office. And Mr. Ogunnubi was able to make the valuation office still standing. This is a man that we adore forever. He has had great impact on my life, as he has had on various people's life. And that's why this amazing man is the first asset surveyor and valuer in Lagos State that has crossed the Rubicon of being the first asset surveyor and valuer, executive secretary, and the first executive secretary of land use and allocation, and the first estate surveyor and valuer ever to be the permanent secretary in the Lagos State government.
On assumption as Director of Valuation, to strengthen the agency and infused new ideas, he introduced the unified assessment of all rateable properties in Lagos State, as well as standardizing the procedure of assessment throughout the state for the purpose of property tax.
See what the Lord has done.
I had the privilege of working with him closely. First, in year 2000, when he became the Director of Valuation, I was the next person assisting. I worked closely with him, and also in year 2015, when he became the Executive Secretary Lands. He was the Executive Secretary. I'm heading this unit. Estate unit is a unit under the Land Use and Allocation Directorate of Lands Bureau, which he headed. And I I will not forget him. He's somebody that I so much respect because I learned a lot under him. He's somebody that is very, very intelligent, full of both intellectual resources and native intelligence, which I think has helped him in the discharge of his responsibilities. There are many issues that came up in the course of his civil service career, especially with respect to property matters. In valuation, for example, he dealt with local government, and he had to deal with many chairmen of local governments, because what we were doing then was to assess properties for tenement purpose. And in dealing with these people, you have to be careful in order to assure them that you are interested in beefing up their revenue. So similarly, when he was the executive secretary here in Land Bureau here, executive secretary Land Use and Allocation Committee, there are many issues that came up on land matters. In the directorate, this is where we manage land resource of the state. And while he was here, he protected the interests of the state greatly, especially when it comes to revenue matters. When we receive an application maybe for extension of leases or some other things, he ensures that the assessed revenue is in line with government guidelines. So I give that to him, and somebody that I feel that he doesn't mind what people say about him. So far, he's in the right direction. He has a phrase that he uses then when he was there, that you want to be on top and you don't want to be the topic. In other words, there's no way how he can be on that exalted seat, and there's no way I can satisfy all the people. So the most important thing is to ensure that one satisfies one's conscience, which I think he did. He's very intelligent, very wise in the affairs of things, and I learned a lot of things from him. I want to say he's somebody that I respect. He's somebody that is also emotional. When he sees you, maybe you are not happy, you might think he's somebody as principled as he is. He has emotional side too. He reads the mind, that when he feels that you are not happy, he will have a way of relating with you and finding out what the problem is, and where possible he can come in, is always ready to assist. I want to say that people learn different values from, but as for me, like I told you, one thing that I learned from him is that I will never forget is the need to maintain your principle. If you are hard, let people know you that you won't take that nonsense from anybody. So the need to maintain to be consistent with your principle, irrespective of whose source is God, because these land matters. You can't compromise you can't compromise at your own detriment. So I learned that one from him. Then he works hard. he works hard. In fact, when he was here, we used to ask him what kind of how is he coping, because he will come here early and leave very late. And during the day, he can attend several meetings, but he will still come back to the office and work. He works very, very hard, no doubt, and he's after goals. I would say one unique character that he has is that he's ready to make use of whoever is available that falls within his aspiration. In other words, even if you are somebody on a senior level, if it is a junior officer that is ready to work, he makes use of that person. He works very hard and he encourages anybody that is ready to work. If you are not ready to give him the desired result, he won't. He doesn't tolerate excuses.
My friend is my brother, but I want to say he's an easygoing, quiet and a gentle person, but a silent achiever.
What we waited for has come to pass. If I were you, I'll sing it to someone. I'll just sing it to someone. Say, see what the Lord has done. Can you see? See what the Lord.
In 2003, he also championed the equitable sharing and distribution of all movable assets of the local government with regards to the distribution of land, building, and all other movable assets of the local government of the state to the newly birthed 20 local government council and 37 local council development areas under the erstwhile governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
See what the Lord has done.
In 2005, still under the administration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he succeeded in valuing all fixed and non-fixed assets of the state government in Lagos State to determine the state's net worth, a sine qua non to securing the first bond for the state at the time.
See what the Lord has done.
To his credit and honor in 2009 was the coordination and the installation of street poles and the introduction of a computerized even and odd house numbering system across Lagos State to remove the haphazard housing numbering in Lagos State in 2009.
See what the Lord has done.
He's a man of honor. We all know him for that. He's so truthful. He's not biased. He's fair to all. He's fair to all. And when anything you want to say, you don't want any other person to hear, don't say it to his hearing, because immediately you just call the concerned officer, repeat what you just said. That tells you how faithful he is to everybody. He's a God-fearing person. He operates an open door policy. So that is just it for you.
He's very understanding, he's kind to a fault. We cannot fault his complete gentleman. We can't fault his open door policy. My prayer for you is that God will continue to shine his countenance upon you. You continue to find favor before God and man. Everything that you aspire will definitely come your way. This will be a beginning of greater things to come your way, sir. We appreciate you. We love you.
As a reformist of reckoning again, with a committed transformational drive for greater heights, Olukayode Timothy Olukayode Ogunnubi in 2010 introduced the electronic document management system in the local government areas to fast-track and secure marriage documentation in 2010.
See what the Lord has done.
Great person. He's a great personality, very honest, highly reliable and responsible. If you have a dream, just go to him. Tell him your dream. He's a person that will help you to actualize your dream. He's a destiny helper. He was at the Local Government Service Commission briefly, where most civil servants there do see themselves as being inferior to officers from the state. When he came in as a PS, though his stay there was very brief, he was able to build confidence in all of us. He told us clearly that wherever you find yourself, just endeavor that you are the best in whatever you do, that you can excel, whether you are at the local government level, whether you are at the state level, or at the federal government level. The personality we are talking about here is a civil servant that one will be proud of anytime, any day, anywhere. Very smart, very eloquent, very friendly, but very smart and very frank. He will tell you that this is the way to go. And if you are ready to work according to his dictate, be rest assured that you cannot fail. I am proud of him as a brother. I'm proud of him as a boss. I'm proud of him as a civil servant in Lagos State. Of his kind should not end at the local government level. Look at where he touched. Everywhere he walked, he left a mark, a remarkable mark. And those that came across him attested to the fact that he is the best wherever he walked. He had a track record of success. He's been success all through. He never failed anywhere. And I'm very proud of him. I pray that as he retires, he will not retire into death, he will not retire into failure, he will not retire into sickness, and he will never, never retire into penury. If you see him as a family man, if you see him with his wife, if you are not married, you'll be encouraged to have a wife. I do call the two of them tube and tire. Without the tube, be rest assured that the tire cannot work. They do things together. I'm not surprised he's a successful person because he's also a successful family man. He carries his wife along in all that he did. They are always together. I wish him good luck. And I pray that the service he is leaving behind will continue to improve where he stopped. Contact with him over time. He teaches us to be honest. Honesty is his watchword. taught us also to be respectful. When you go out to meet customers, customers are always the best. Customers are the leader. Customers are superior to you. Respect people. And, he has this virtue of cleanliness. He's always very clean and very neat. He speaks impeccably. You can't doubt what he has said. He will tell you, this is the way to go. This is the way to do. And it's a great virtue to have this virtue of neatness, virtue of respect, and honesty in all that you do. Whatever you do, wherever you find yourself, whoever you have contact with, if you're not honest in your dealings, nobody will take you for anything. Nobody will have value for you. But if you're a honest person, it's a great thing to be honest. Mr. Olukayode Ogunnubi is a very honest human being.
Complementing this amazing feat and giant stride of an unbeatable track record, Olukayode Timothy Olukayode Ogunnubi remarkably again in 2010 initiated and supervised the establishment of a probate valuation office in the judiciary of Lagos State to expedite the process of granting a probate and letter of administration in the judiciary service.
See what the Lord has done.
Added to this outstanding quality service delivery was his enviable performance of another master stroke, the computerization in 2011 in the setting up of the chieftaincy computerized department to compile computerized records as well as secure the land that regulates the selection, appointment and recognition of bona fide royal family so that all people with royal blood can access the throne of their fathers in Lagos State.
See what the Lord has done.
Still driven with the passion, the vision and the drive to be exemplary in all he does, Olukayode Timothy Olukayode Ogunnubi again in 2011 established a dedicated department, the Lagos State Real Estate Transaction Department, now known as LASRERA, Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority, to regulate the real estate transaction and curb the activities of dubious estate agents in Lagos State, under the watch and supervision of Mr. Babatunde Rajifashola SAN, the then governor of Lagos State, which today has metamorphosed to LASRERA, the Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority, under the administration of Mr. Governor Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu.
Well-known person to me, more than 20 years ago, cool-headed, well-coordinated, and loving. One, we have met somewhere along in the local government system. He's a valuer, he's a state valuer. I was a local government council manager. We have met on several occasions. And now we are meeting in the state. And since we met, I've been enjoying his experience. Very cool-headed person and brilliant.
With the many first to his credit as a track record, Olukayode Timothy Olukayode Ogunnubi was the first land officer in February 2015 to become an executive secretary, lands, in Lagos State, rising through the ranks and file to become the first estate surveyor to assume the position of executive secretary of lands in Lagos State, a position well served with unprecedented record of revenue generated in the history of Lands Bureau in Lagos State.
See what the Lord has done.
See what
Well, when you all sing it to someone, I'll just sing it to someone. Say, see what the Lord has done. Can you see? See what the Lord has done.
Undaunted with the onerous task ahead of him, in February 2017, he was appointed as the general manager of the Lagos State Residence Registration Agency (LASRA). Under his exemplary watch and leadership, programs were designed leading to the multi-layered database development programs to register all residents in Lagos State, Nigeria, as well as the formulation of policies, implementation of projects and programs that led to the production of multipurpose identity cards for Lagos State residents.
See what the Lord has done.
When you see somebody who is amiable, so you want to identify with him, you want to wish him the best of everything, and especially on his day, we need to thank God for his life that God has been working with him. He's also been very amiable, and he enjoys working with everyone. You know, this life is about relationship. So how do you relate with people? He relates very well. He's a gentleman.
So first of all, I want to say, my dear brother, happy birthday to you and happy retirement, as you exit the Lagos State Public Service. In describing him, I would describe him as an outstanding officer, very dedicated and also committed to providing the best possible service at all times. For those that have worked closely with him, it's actually evident in the way he carries himself and the way he applies himself. Our paths first crossed when he was general manager at LASRA. That was our first encounter, and the relationship kind of grew from there. And I like to say that he actually laid a very good foundation at LASRA with regards to the technological advancement that is now happening in that agency. He contributed significantly to that. Subsequently, we've actually worked on a number of projects together, including the Service Charter and the Citizens Gate platform. In all honesty, in all our interactions, apart from his friendly disposition, he's somebody that is really, really dedicated to actually providing the best service to the Lagos State Public Service and by extension the citizens of the state. There are a number of things that I could say with regards to his character. First of all, I mentioned the fact that he's somebody that is actually dedicated to providing the best possible service. So he is committed to the work of the Lagos State Public Service. He's one of those officers that would carry on and push on until they achieve the right result. So for me, it's some sort of level of doggedness, not taking no for an answer, knowing that there's an issue that needs to be resolved and you need to actually drive it all the way through until you achieve the right result. So that is determination. So for me, I think that's a value and a virtue that somebody could learn from him. Another aspect that intrigues me is native intelligence. That is the ability to be able to manage political undertone. In the public service, no matter how skillful you are, you must still be able to manage office politics. If you are not able to manage office politics, no matter how skillful you are, you may find it very difficult to succeed in this environment. So that he does exceptionally well, and I think I've also actually learned a few things from him, or should I say a few tricks from him with regards to how to manage office politics. Congratulations are in order. Not everybody had the opportunity of working for Lagos State for 35 years. 35 years is a lifetime, it's a long time. So for you to be able to do that for a period of 35 years successfully, and you are now exiting the service, for me, I think that is a big bonus and is a major, major achievement. So my prayer for him is that as he retires, I wish him good health. Health is very, very important. As we get older, things are not always as they are in our bodies. So I wish him good health. I wish him happiness as well. And most importantly, I wish him peace of mind, because that's also very important. I pray that as he retires and exits from the public service, it's an opportunity for new doors and new opportunities to open for him that would even allow his achievements to be taken to greater heights. So I would say congratulations, my dear brother. I wish you the very best in retirement.
See what the Lord has done.
Not done with, he was again the first land officer in 2017 to become a permanent secretary in Lagos State, owing to his brilliant and exemplary passion and commitment in the execution of his work, duties, responsibilities, and outstanding performance during his brief period in land by the immediate past governor of Lagos State, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode.
See what the Lord has done.
He was thereafter redeployed to the Ministry of Science and Technology to set up the Lagos State Research and Innovation Council (LASRIC), a research and science incubator for the state. Apart from the strategic implementation and execution of the state policies on science and technology, coupled with the introduction of the Unmanned Aerial Vehicle (UAV) for Electronic Geographical Information System use. For his noble competence, capability, and uncommon disposition to quality service delivery, Olukayode Timothy Ogunnubi was again redeployed in 2019 by Mr. Governor Babajide Olusola to the Local Government Service Commission to oversee the affairs and administration of all local government staff in Lagos State.
See what the Lord has done. What we waited for has come to pass. If I were you, I'll sing it to someone. I'll just sing it to someone.
Timothy Olukayode Ogunnubi. I met him virtually when I was appointed to be the Commissioner of Science and Technology. He reached out to me while I was in the United States, and we had some conversation, and he put me through the lanes, to really work within the Lagos State government. And I will never forget how he related to me. And of course, I will say his character, his integrity is beyond reproach. I will always cherish him. I will always count on him I will always have my respect for him. He's a great individual. He put me through the rigors of working through this government. And even after being posted to another ministry, we continue to maintain that relationship. So we took each other as brothers. It's very important, despite the fact being of different religion, but we were able to work together, and he is a great person. He's a family man. I know the family, I know the wife, I know the children. And he has made a lot of contribution, not only to our ministry here, but to the state. I know he has worked in local government, LASRA, Ministry of Science and Technology, and also Ministry of the Office of Civic Engagement and Ministry of Establishment. So for a person to have that level of knowledge and be able to move from one ministry to another, despite the fact that, he was a trained surveyor, it says a lot about him. And it's a great asset, to the state. And I wish him the very best. I know we're still going to be in touch because, I know the family very well. So again, I pray for him to have a memorable retirement, to continue to do what he has been doing, because that talent cannot really go away in retirement. There's still a lot to get out of him, and I know it will be appreciated outside the boundaries of the government.
It is also on record for all to see that before his deployment to his present post as the Permanent Secretary, Office of Civic Engagement, he served in another capacity as the Permanent Secretary of the Lagos State Civil Service Pension Office in the Ministry of Establishment, Training and Pensions, with the primary responsibility of processing the entitlements of officers who retired from the public service, bringing to bear in 2020 the introduction of the online verification exercise for pensioners through the state, where the Arm Alive verification exercise was conducted in the comfort zone of pensioners, reducing by extension the financial burden of the state government caused by ghost workers.
Verification we have fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn wa tí wọ́n jẹ́ pensioner tó ti fẹ̀yìntì ní ìdí iṣẹ́ ìjọba lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ pé káwọn náà mọ̀ káwọn bí wọ́n sì wà láyé. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí kọmíṣánná wa ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, gbogbo àwọn mítárì wa pátá wọ́n ti fẹ̀yìntì. A ní data wọn lọ́wọ́, a ní phone number wọn torí àwọn àwọn fún olówó lóṣooṣù. A ní ibi tí wọ́n ń gbé tí wọ́n fi sílẹ̀ pé àdírẹ́sì gbà láwọn ń gbé. Sọ àwọn ọmọ ìlànà kan fẹ́ wò ó dá máa fi pè wọ́n. Phone number tí wọ́n fi sílẹ̀ nígbà tó fẹ̀yìntì ó dá máa lò láti máa pọ̀ wọ́n. Ká máa fi mọ̀ pé wọ́n ṣì wà. Èyí tí ò bá dẹ̀ ti dá wa lóhùn àmọ́ kò bóyá àkọ́kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àwọn àmọ̀ bóyá máa rán àwọn ọmọ wa lọ́wọ́ wọn. So nǹkan tí a fẹ́ ṣe nìyẹn ká fi lè mọ gbèsè tá a máa gbé tí a bá ti gbóhùn wọn láti fi lè ṣe data wa ká tó sọ pé wọ́n wà láyé ni o àbí kọ́kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn ká lè mọ̀ wọn ká wo àlàáfíà wọn.
See what the Lord has done.
I see him as a boss, as a leader, as a man of integrity. and he's an hardworking man. He is a very hardworking man. In fact, in my present status and circumstances, I often speak about him. And one of the things I learned working with him, and I inculcate it into most of my junior colleagues, is that in service or when an assignment is given to you, please and please do not justify failure. Mr. Ogunnubi is somebody that will never take no as an excuse. He will never see challenges as an impediment. He will tell you, you only do the job to the best of your ability in the given circumstances before you now complain, this is what you are able to do so far, oh, due to this and this. If you are able to provide me with this and that, I will be able to perform better. But not that you say, Oga, I can't do this thing just because of these challenges. So it doesn't take challenges as a reason to debar you from progress. And I really have used that all my life there after knowing him, and it has always worked for me. Then I learned from him too many virtues that is peculiar to him as a man. For example, hardly can you make him angry. Let me use that word. Maybe towards me, or I don't know with others, but hardly have we become so that we cannot resolve and work together. So I see him as a good team leader.
It's my boss, Dr. ESV Ogunnubi Timothy Olukayode. I've worked with him for some times, and it's been incredible, wholesome, and honestly, he's a man to work with. If you do not have experience, you will gain experience. If you like idea, you will gain one. For me, I will just express and just two phenomena. I would describe it that way. He's a man of great success and a man of great character. So how do I mean? If I say he's a man of great character, we talk about someone that is very honest, loyal, very courageous, and is an embodiment of idea in himself. I'll call him an embodiment of impetuses, because as far as he's concerned, there's no impossibilities. We learn a lot from him. He's a man of solution to so many things. He takes no for an answer. I mean, he breaks barrier until you get a solution. So he's a man to call a great leader. And John C. Maxwell mentioned in his words, says a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. For us, and for me in particular, working with him, I think he has been able to show us some of these ways. I mean, you have been able to imbibe so many other cultures apart from other virtues he possessed. So, secondly, I will talk about him as a man of success. Man of success academically. For me, he's a genius. I will call him a genius. If he tells you a thing, or if you think he forgets anything, he doesn't forget anything. He doesn't forget a thing. He's someone who always remember over and over again. Just tell him one word. I mean, so people with magnetic brain, we call them genius. Is just tell him a word, and then it's being magneted to his head, and we give that to him. So we derive joy working with him, particularly my humble self, and he's a life coach himself. He's a life coach. He's a very successful family man too. He's a very successful, faithful man. So when you look at someone academically, family way, faith-wise, what else do we call that one? And Gary Vaynerchuk says in his words, said, love your family, work super hard, and live your passion. For me, he's a great man to work with. He's a man who wants you to learn. He's a man who wants to show you the way. He's not the type that want to give you want to give you fish. He wants net for you to be able to catch fishes yourself. He's a man, if there's anything I will never forget, that he's a man that encourages one. For me, he's a philosopher. He will tell you the dynamism of life. He's been there himself. So by the time he tells you his life experience once or second, you're very sure you will not remain the same. So he's a man of very many qualities, very many qualities. If it's about prayer, he will counsel you, he will pray for you. You may not be able to win him in a competition. I mean, these are the things we enjoy working with him. It makes you laugh. It makes you laugh. It tells you things about life that really could affect you positively and greatly. I still give it to him. It's none to reckon with. It's one man, one we want to reckon with over and over and over again. He's a great man. For me, not only him, because without the family, a good family on his side, without a good wife on his side, we may not be seeing what we are seeing today, or witness what we are witnessing today. It's a great testimony. For me, I wish him good health. I wish him very best in all his endeavors. I wish him success too. And having clocked 60 years is not a joke. It's not a joke. I believe there is still more mountain to climb.
Olukayode Timothy Ogunnubi presently sits as the Permanent Secretary, Office of Civic Engagement, formerly known as the Office of Political and Legislative Power Bureau. He is saddled with the mandate to initiate, formulate, and evaluate policies relating to citizens and stakeholders' cohesion and engagement in Lagos State. He is again credited today to have created the Civic Engagement Directorate Department in recognition of the fact that citizens' involvement in politics and governance do surpasses the creation and promotion of political awareness.
What we waited for has come to pass. If I were you, I'll sing it to someone. I'll just sing it to someone. Say, see what the Lord has done. Can you see? See what the Lord has done. What we've waited for has come to pass. Oh, see what the Lord has done. Then you say, my eyes have seen, my ears have heard